Young world, I know this sounds like a whole entire conspiracy theory to the fullest extent of the law, but were we all just duped just now? What just happened with Tekashi 6ix9ine? Was Tekashi 6ix9ine in witness protection in plain sight for the past week, and now he's being used as a witness? Could that possibly be what's really going on? If you look at the timeline of everything that happened, it's very possible that that could really be the case. Or I could just be bugging, but it really could be the case though. Look at the timeline from when he went out to LA, all that stuff happened with Slim 400 and them. Right after that, or right before that, or around the same exact time as when the person that allegedly robbed him and kidnapped him was arrested. Ever since that happened, he's been having FBI bodies around him. So that happened with Slim 400 and them. At the same time, I think a few days later, a day or two later, was when they arrested the dude that supposedly robbed him. Then after that, the same thing happened with the same time the shooting happened in LA at the video shoot. Then he goes to the Breakfast Club a couple of days ago talking about he's fired everybody on his team. And the story that he told about why he fired Shotty and them or whatever, the people on his team, didn't really connect if you really think about it. He was talking about people stealing money from him, but he didn't say it was Shotty and them. He just said everybody that was around him is fired and now gone. So it didn't really connect and make sense. Then when you seen him walking around LA, he had real, actual, live FBI bodyguards around him guarding him, which is extremely weird. To have actual bodyguards around him. Yeah, I said maybe he's been in witness protection for this past week. Maybe he's been being protected by the FBI. Maybe that's the real reason why they was around him for the past week. Instead of just regular bodyguards, it was regular bodyguards and the FBI. Since when do you see the FBI walk around with a celebrity with full guns and full grenade launcher uniforms and all kind of stuff like that? Ever. This is the first time I ever seen something like this. Maybe they've been around him protecting him this past week, because maybe ever since that dude they arrested for so-called allegedly robbing him, maybe that opened up a can of worms. Maybe Tekashi told on that dude. Worms was about it. You know what I mean? And he was walking around with the feds wrapped around his fingers, doing little videos and entertainment and all type of extra stuff. I can't see who's commenting, you know what I'm saying, but I'm driving. But think about how weird everything just happened in the past week. And he was literally walking around with FBI surrounding his whole entire body for the past week everywhere he went. He been had bodyguards, but he just picked up this FBI bodyguard thing. That only happened in the past week or two, ever since that dude that allegedly robbed him came out. They arrested him and that information came out. So they arrested him now. Who knows what they're really going to do with him. Maybe he agreed to testify and didn't testify, or maybe that's part of what he's doing now. Maybe they grabbed him up with everybody else, so people don't know that's what he's doing or about to do. Because if he's about to testify and bring some people down, or some kind of big conspiracy ring or something like that, organized crime, if everybody knows he's in witness protection right away, of course people are going to start disappearing and running off or doing what they can do to get out the way. But if they grab him up along with everybody else to make it look like they arrested him, even if they really did arrest him right now, you know what I'm saying? Who's to say that that's not what they're really doing, though? He's really not in witness protection right now, even if he is in the regular federal courthouse building, or the regular federal detention. For the past week, he appears to be somebody that has been under witness protection, if you think about it. As far as what he said and what everybody was saying, is there was FBI agents that was bodyguarding him for the past week. I never known nobody to be able to hire live active FBI agents. A lot of people be having like retired, but to have real live FBI agents bodyguarding you is pretty weird. And the timeline of everything that happened is just way too weird. How everything happened and came together and just played out all at once. Then him going to the Breakfast Club talking about he distanced himself, he fired everybody on his team. It sounded cool for a second, but when you really dig into his story about the money mismanagement and the promotion, all that stuff, it really doesn't connect on why he fired the people around him, like Shotty and everybody else, supposedly. He said, everybody you see me around is no longer around me. That don't explain that because he didn't. He talking about people stealing money. He didn't name people, certain people in particular. You know what I mean? Maybe the FBI was around him to protect him from Shotty for these past week or two because they knew what was going on and it was about to unfold. If he's about to be a witness, it would make sense that they would have him being bodyguarded from the people around him, not just people that are trying to get him, but from his own actual people that are right next to him. Like I said, it might sound paranoid and weird and like a crazy conspiracy theory, but it really kind of could make sense. We're going to have to just wait and see how it plays out to see what's really going on. But the whole story to me is just the weirdest thing I ever seen. To have FBI agents protecting somebody, a rapper at that. I mean, I didn't know FBI agents were for hire like that to be bodyguards. You know what I mean? Like I never even heard of that before. Like it's just weird. This whole thing is really so weird. So that's what he might be doing. He might be in witness protection right now. And may have been for the past week or two. You know what I'm saying? You got to really think about this situation. He may have already been in witness protection in plain sight. That'll be the first because you don't think about people being in witness protection and being seen. Usually, when you're in witness protection, you're tucked away somewhere in Nebraska. You know what I mean, on the low with a different name and all that stuff. But maybe this was all part of, you know what I mean, the way they had to do it for whatever reason. Maybe they're trying to get more information on somebody for whatever reason, or they had to play out however it did. But that's just my crazy thought right now. I could be bugging, but it went through my head, and I'm like, damn, this looks crazy. This boy been around all these FBI agents for all these days. But I don't know, man. We'll have to just wait and see.